Okay, there was something else that she said that I thought was really amazing. She says, Greg, I eat, sleep, breathe, live real estate. I want to know everything that's going on in the market. And she said, I think most people, they don't eat, it's just a job to them. They don't eat it, they don't live it, they don't sleep it, they don't breathe it. Guys, I think in a market like what we're in right now, people have money, but people are getting tight with their money. And they're just using a little bit more due diligence when it comes to, do I want to spend my money with you? Now, can I tell you where people are spending their money? They're spending their money with people that they can really, really trust. So if people don't see that you care about their problem more than they care about their own problem, I'm sorry, they'll talk to you, but they're not going to give you their money.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you, as always, for joining me. So today I want to talk about what it takes to be the best. And this is going to be kind of in line with something that recently happened. And I had this little mini interview with someone, and she's going to be on the podcast in the next, hopefully, couple weeks. But it was my realtor. So Carrie and I closed on another property a couple days ago, and we were there with our realtor. I was signing all the closing documents, and everything seemed to be going well, and all that stuff. And probably about 35, 40 minutes later, I signed everything, and I thought we were ready to go home and to take the keys and kind of go off and go into our new location for, it's an investment property. But anyways, so here's what happened. The closing company needed to review the documents again. I'm like, I already have the keys for the place, I already signed everything, I already wired all the money, this, that. But they needed to look over. They have like a weird setup where they needed to look over it. And they said, no one leave the premises until we look over this document one more time. So I'm like, okay. So I ended up being there for about 30 more minutes. So I was in a room as myself, it was my wife, and it was our realtor, Trisha. And while we were doing the closing, I heard Trisha say to the closing person, the title agency, she said, this is my 10th closing so far this month. Now, I started adding up the numbers. I'm like, 10 closings. She sold 10 homes this month. Now, if y'all know where I live in Indian Rocks Beach, which is between Clearwater Beach and St. Pete Beach, okay? Look, the area is pretty pricey, all right? Condos here go for anywhere between like $750,000 all the way up to $5 million, okay? And homes go on the low end, you're looking at like maybe $900,000, on the high end, 15, 20, 25 million, all right? So I know that that's her main market. I also know that most people in real estate right now are struggling and struggling mightily. She just sold 10 homes and we're not even at the end of the month. So I'm like, what? So look, I know she's a very, very popular realtor in the area. And while we were waiting on this whole closing fiasco to be done, I said, Trisha, why do you feel like you've had 10 closings? Because from what I understand, the market right now is really tough. And I know a lot of people that are leaving the real estate industry. So why is it that most people, 90+% of people right now are struggling heavily, but you are over here selling home after home after home after home? And so she said, Greg, I don't know. I was like, well, I think I know. But can you tell me a little bit about your story first? So Trisha went on to tell me a little bit about her story. And real estate for her is actually a second profession, okay? It's actually a third profession. She had two other professions before, but I think when you look at how she attacks real estate today, and you look at her prior life of what she did, I think that there's some big takeaways that we can take from what she has done and why she has been able to win even in a down market. And then you can ask yourself, like, what do you need to do to win in a down market? So Trisha Priest she's obviously my realtor, and she was in the movie industry in California prior to being a realtor. She was a movie producer. And she said that during that time, she had to learn a couple things. Number one is she had to learn how to manage over people. She said she had to learn how to manage over money. And she said she had to learn how to deal with men. That's what she told me. She's like, and during that time, it really taught me as a producer, like, you can't just have the movie going. Like, you've got to know all the pieces. You're not just a director of the movie. The producer is the one that has to market the film. The producer has to get all the talent. The producer has to oversee the props and others, everything that is needed in order to make this project come to life. And it made me think. I was like, okay, well, her being a producer, what I realized is that she knows all the components of the business. You see, a lot of people in real estate are very similar to a lot of people in healthcare. They're good at understanding the home. The healthcare provider is good at treating the patient. But that's not all it takes in order to have a complete movie. In order to actually have a patient come in and work with you, you've got to understand how to promote it. You've got to understand the launch of it. You've got to not only understand the types of people that we need in order to make the movie give people the desired result, which is to make them scared or to make them happy or to make it suspenseful or whatever the case may be. The producer has to do the whole thing. You are the production, the entire production, and you have to oversee that. And so I said, Trisha, you know what? I believe that your ability to see the entire picture has actually helped you in real estate. She goes, wow, never thought of that. I said, yeah, I really think that that's a huge part. I was like, I think most people don't know how to manage over the entire thing. They only know one part of the giant equation. I said, I think that's helped you. She said, you know, Greg, here's another thing. I used to be a social worker before. So as a social worker, I have to advocate for the patient. I have to advocate for the client. I said, Trisha, I believe that's helped you as well. I was like, because I know for me, this place that I just bought, I actually bought the place and put down the deposit for the place 2 years. Oh my gosh, 2 years. 2 years and 2 days ago. Okay. And I just got the place. And part of what I use the place for is to actually serve my clients. I like to do private events, and a lot of them I've done up in Georgia, but I don't want to always go up to Georgia to do my events. I want to do something that's close to my home. And so throughout that time, she knows that the project has been delayed. She has helped me find different places to do my events. Now, I haven't used the places that she has found for me, but she's always trying to find me things that I need, and it has nothing to necessarily do with real estate. She's just become a really good advocate for me. So here's my question to you as you're listening to the podcast. Are you a great advocate for your clients, or are you just a one-trick pony? Like, if you're a dietitian, are you just helping your clients with their dietary needs, but you don't have any resources for your clients for exercise? You don't have a Rolodex of physical therapists, occupational therapists, chiropractors, nurse practitioners, physicians. Like, do you have that? Are you a true advocate for your client, or are you just advocating the thing that you're good at? Okay, something to think about. So when she said that first, which was she was a producer and she believes that's helped her a lot, and then she's been a social worker and she's learned how to advocate for her clients, even in things that she's not an expert in. So she's created a list of people that can help her clients in things that her clients might need help in. She says, then that makes me become a really good decision maker. Now, I know you guys have heard that from me over and over and over again, becoming a true advocate for your client base. Okay, there was something else that she said that I thought was really amazing. She says, Greg, I eat, sleep, breathe, live real estate. I want to know everything that's going on in the market. And she said, I think most people, they don't eat, it's just a job to them. They don't eat it, they don't live it, they don't sleep it, they don't breathe it. Guys, I think in a market like what we're in right now, people have money, but people are getting tight with their money. And they're just using a little bit more due diligence when it comes to, do I want to spend my money with you? Now, can I tell you where people are spending their money? They're spending their money with people that they can really, really trust. So if people don't see that you care about their problem more than they care about their own problem, I'm sorry, they'll talk to you, but they're not going to give you their money. It's too hard to come by right now. It is. They want to work with that person that knows their thing in and out, that understands their problem in and out, the person that obsesses over their problem in and out. And if you don't do that, and I know this might not be popular, but if you don't do that, in a great market, they'll give you money. But in this market, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. So that's my question to you all. Like, what makes you different? Are you truly obsessive about the group of people that you're serving? If you're not, it's going to be tough right now. It's going to be really tough. I think here's another thing. I'm going to leave you guys with this. So those are some of the big things with Trisha. But then we closed. And after we closed, I went over to the townhouse because I actually had the internet provider coming the same day that we're closing. Now, apparently while we're into closing, the guys called me. He's like, hey, I'm here and you're not here. So I called the guy back and I said, hey, listen, is it okay? Will you stay out there? Please, please, please. I'll be there in about 45 minutes. And he said, yeah. He said, no problem. I'll stay out there, which I thought was absolutely amazing. So already I love the guy because I wasn't there and he said, look, I'm going to get the job done. Well, earlier in the day, I did a walkthrough of the townhouse and our builder said, hey, Spectrum, which is our cable provider, they still had not come to the townhouse yet. And they hadn't finished doing the wiring for underneath the building. And so he said, I said, the Spectrum people are coming today. He's like, they're not going to stay. He's like, you're at 6 o'clock. They're coming. You're going to be their last, their last home or their last project for the day. And he's like, they're not going to want to do all that work. So I was like, okay. I was like, you're probably right. So we'll just kind of see. Well, this guy stayed. It's like, wow. And then when I got to the townhouse, it was around 7:15. He said, hey, one of the wires are not there and I need to be able to snake it out. So I'm going to have to go to a Home Depot or a Lowe's to go snake this wiring out. I was like, are you going to do that today? He says, yeah. He's like, I'm going to go do it right now. I'll go get the stuff and I'll come back. I'm like, okay, well, he's like, will you stay? I was like, yeah, I'll be here. I was like, I need this like Wi-Fi is life for me. Okay. So he basically left and my wife and I said, hey, let's just go to Panera Bread. We got a little quick dinner and then we came back. Guys, at this point, it was close to like 8:30, 8:45. And he said, could you help me? I'm going to go to your unit and I'm going to have you push this wire down and I'm going to sneak it through the other way. And he did all that, And guys, it was close to 10 o'clock before he finished. He finished the project and I went in my pocket. I had a $20 bill and I said, hey man, I want to give you this. This is amazing. You went above and beyond. I was like, when I was talking to my builder today, he said, the people are probably not going to do it. They're going to probably do it and come back in the morning and do it because that's in their regular 9-to-5 shift. And he said, well, Greg, here's the deal. I don't work 9 to 5. I get paid different than all the other Spectrum agents that come out. He's like, I get paid for result. I get paid per job. So if I didn't complete the job, I don't get paid. Guys, I want you to think about everything that I just told you about the realtor. And I want you to think about the one thing that the realtor didn't say, which was how this guy was able to be the best ever Spectrum technician that has ever come to my house, the best ever technician of any property I've ever gotten that's come to my house. And the only reason why he was the best is because he got paid a different way than everybody else. He didn't get paid per hour. He got paid per result. And because he knew that if he didn't get the job done, he wasn't going to get paid, he went above and beyond. Well, that's what makes you the best. So between the stories I told you about Trisha and between the story I just told you, all that happened in one day, I want you to take that and I want you to start to ask yourself some questions. I want you to ask yourself the question of, do you truly understand your audience better than they understand themselves? Are you willing to look out for them beyond the things that you can help them with? Are you willing to manage over all aspects of them? Are you working on your communication and being able to convey your message and how you can help them very clearly so they understand? And have you set up your compensation package to get paid when you get the job done, not based on hours? Something I want you to think about. I want you to be the best at whatever it is that you do. I truly, truly, truly want you to be the best. All right. Love you guys. Till next time.
That was easy.